You know, good, hard-fought defensive battle. Really disappointed to come out on the wrong side of it. We had plenty of opportunities and thought our kids played extremely hard. Extremely hard. Even though we didn't play well on offense, our guys on offense played really hard, and our guys on defense played really well, and got the turnovers we needed, and our kicker was excellent. But, you know, from a statistical or just a looking at a standpoint, can't be 2 of 5 in the red zone and 3 of 16 on third down and win very often. We had our chances, and proud of our kids, play their guts out. I just didn't do a good enough job of pushing us through and winning the game, and that's my job. So, questions?
Where do you go on the offensive line just after tonight? Just a lot of pressures, and obviously Ja'Kai went down at one point. But
Yeah. The Ja'Kai going down was critical because we got the ball in the 3 and about one under center. Probably still should have. I mean, J.O.'s done it plenty, but called a different play. Still should have been fine, and we get a hold, which was critical. But he was able to come back. Ja'Kai was. I think we had early in the game. You could tell we were struggling. We gave up some sacks early. We just were doing some things. It wasn't as much physical as it was maybe some mental busts. I thought Garen did a good job getting the right 5 in there to settle it down. So, we got time to evaluate. I still think our top 8 guys are who they are, but we settled down and played better. But the first quarter was really rough. We were going backwards.
I know we've asked you a lot about the decision of playing Kevin versus Preston, but was tonight just one where the game kind of dictated it?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously the question is fair and right. We went into the game with the plan of predominantly playing Preston. Told Kevin we planned to put him in the 3rd series. It wasn't a guarantee. If we would have gone down and scored the first 2 drives, we weren't going to do that. But we weren't going to go back and forth. It's not fair to either one of them. First 2 drives were really poor offensively. And, so we went to Kevin, which was, again, part of the original plan. And then, he gave us a spark. We went down. I think that's the drive. We had 4th and 1 and didn't convert. But we moved it, had our best drive yet. So we made the decision to give him another drive. But then we went down and got a field goal and got points. And so at that point, you're kind of, I don't think the first 2 drives were all on Preston by any means. But we were moving the football. We still put Preston back in there, and again, we had a protection bust up front. It wasn't Preston's fault. We take a sack, we go backwards, we're 3 and out. And so you got to look at it at that point and go, look, it's not personal, it's not on a person. It's when Kevin was in there, the offense was at least moving the football down the field, and we were getting either points or opportunities to get points. And so as a staff, we just all made the decision to go with that the way the game was going. And we did play, we moved the ball, but we didn't score any points. So that's kind of how it unfolded.
Did you notice anything about how BYU was defending when Preston was in versus when Kevin was in?
They defended them both the same. Now, what they did that was different is they didn't run their base defense. They're a 4-down front team. They played predominantly odd stack a lot the whole game. Did a lot of odd pressures. So, the first couple drives we were a little unsettled because it just wasn't what we prepared for. Our guys settled down. Our coaching staff did a good job. I just didn't do a good enough job adjusting. So that's why we moved the ball. We didn't finish drives, and we didn't move it great, but we moved it. We just didn't finish any drives, and give them a lot of credit for having a good plan, and it worked.
what did you think of Kevin's play overall?
Overall, he made plays. He was confident throwing it. I'll have to look at the film and see. Like I said, I think the first 4 drives we were in, we went down and either got points or got to 4th and 1 inside the 10. So it was just the feel that we were moving the ball the best in that moment. And, we still made plenty of mistakes. And, even on the last play of the game, I think we had RJ and we just didn't get to him. So some of that is just experience, some of it's playing. But I was proud of how he battled. He made a lot of really big plays for us, especially when things weren't going well.
Did BYU do anything unique or different to try to nullify RJ?
Well, they did a lot to nullify our weapons on the outside. Again, they played more of an odd stack, a little bit of bear front, but those are just not their 2 predominant fronts. They did that some on third down, but they were playing a couple, 3 or 4 different variations of zone, very loose zone, so we couldn't, run vertical down the field. Makes sense. And so we adjusted. We were able to start hitting guys over the middle of the field. and run the ball. But even then, when you spit a run, there's plenty of people there. So it's the same story we've seen before. People don't want you to be explosive. You've got to grind out drives. And credit them. They were going to bend but not break, not give us big plays. They pressured more than they had, but that's fine. That's normal for people to decide to do that. And I think you saw we move the ball, but we would always get stuck once we'd get inside the 20, and or sometimes not even that far, and have to settle for field goals. So yeah, credit them. It's a great game plan, and they executed it, and we didn't adjust and execute well enough. And that's on me.
If you were to describe this game with one word, what would it be and why?
Frustrating. Yeah, frustrating. We had our chances. Look, it's hard to win. I mean, we knew it was going to be a game like that. Every game we play this year, for us to win, is going to be similar to this. Maybe it's 18-15, maybe it's 38-35. It doesn't matter. Like, it's going to be tight. It's going to be close. You're not going to roll people. That's not what happens most weeks when both teams show up and play hard and play physical. It's frustrating because, we had our chances with some good field position off of turnovers. We didn't score touchdowns. Even the 4th and 1 play early in the game, I thought we had a chance for a touchdown there. We didn't get it. It's frustrating because, we get the pick down to the 3 and then we have a hold. And, we didn't have undisciplined penalties tonight, but we had some critical holds on either the return game or on offense. I guess it's 5-7 in the penalties, but that really, really hurt us. It's hard when you're going backwards. It's frustrating because our guys played hard and they played physical. I mean, there's no question that we were just as physical as them, and we played just as hard as them. And, credit Kalani with that great call on 4th and 1 late in the game. To go for it there is gutsy, and they executed a great play and got it, and they won the game.
You talked about how early on you're still trying to figure out what this team's identity is after a performance like tonight. How much do you feel like it's tied to what the defense is doing right now, coming up with those big plays?
To what the
defense is doing.
Our defense.
What your defense is doing and what they kind of came up with, the big plays throughout the second.
I think that's our defense. I think they're going to battle. I think they're going to get after people and cause turnovers. I thought they played really well. We didn't score enough points. So I may not be answering your question very well because I don't totally understand the identity part about the defense. That's the identity we think our defense will have. So I'm proud of that. And tonight we didn't score enough points on offense, and the guy calling the plays is sitting right here, and he didn't get it done.
How much of a sense did you get on the red zone mistakes? Was it guys pressing, obviously the 2 turnovers, you mentioned the holding call, or was it just a product of just going against a stout defense?
I got to see. I need to look at it. Right now it's a blur on the back end, trying to recount every drive. I mean, obviously the one that's obvious, we get the ball on the 3 and we go backwards, and then we fumble the next play. That's pretty self-inflicted. So should I put them in different situations, give them different calls? Maybe that was it. Maybe we didn't execute on a few of them. We were typically, when the field shrinks, you need to be able to run it in. We were able to run it forward, but not far enough to get in. And so, it's a great question. I need to watch the film to give you a better answer. I'm sorry.
With the bye week here, is there anything that kind of jumps out to you that you guys as team, players, coaches have to, really hone in on a couple of key points?
Well, look, I mean, we obviously haven't played well enough to win this game tonight, so there's a lot we're going to evaluate. What we're not going to evaluate is our kids' effort. We're not going to evaluate their togetherness, because I think it was there tonight, and I expect them to respond that way. But we're going to evaluate, everything, like we do any time we lose a game. We're going to see what we can do better with this team on all 3 phases, and we're going to try to get prepared to go win a game here in 2 weeks. So it's disappointing. Guys, it's disappointing to lose. It's disappointing to lose when you feel like your guys gave everything they had, and the game was right there in the balance, and we could have made a play and won, and they could have made a play and win, and they did. And so it's disappointing. We're going to look at the film. We're going to do what we can to improve it, but it's just hard for me to give you the exact reason. There's not one thing I can put my finger on other than the clear obviousness that we got inside the 30-yard line and didn't score touchdowns. And it's really that simple.
What do you think of Colin's performance tonight?
Colin, I mean, it was great. I mean, he hit 5 field goals, 2 over 50, I believe, especially in the first half, which was kind of into the wind the way it was in pregame. And then the last one, when it was clutch, we had to have it to tie the game and give ourselves a chance, and he made it. So, yeah, I'm really proud of him tonight.
He set 2 records tonight, one for field goals in a game, and then the other ties the career record at SMU. How important is he to this program?
I thought he really started kicking the ball well the second half of last year, and even in the conference championship game, which led him to be an all-conference kicker. And I think his only miss of the year is over 50 right now, and so he's kicked the ball really well the first 3 games. And even when you are moving the ball and scoring touchdowns and things that we need to do better, you're going to have clutch kicks you need in games to win. And it was good for him to get that confidence tonight. And yeah, I mean, he's so far proven to be a pretty consistent guy for us.
When he got here as a freshman, you talked about him as a guy with a load of talent, but some inconsistency. Is he now the player you thought you were recruiting, or has he maybe even exceeded your expectations in any way?
I mean, he was tonight. I mean, he was 5 for 5. He was great tonight. And so he's always had a big leg. And, so hopefully this tonight gives him a lot of confidence that through the next, 9+ games, he'll continue to be pretty consistent for us.
Yes, for you with this bye week, and you'll have a couple more obviously, would you rather have the bye week and kind of regroup a little bit, or would you rather have another game next week to just get right back out?
Yeah, I'd rather have another game next week. It's not very fun getting your tail kicked. It's not very fun when you feel like as a competitor, everyone, whether you're a football player or a basketball player or a golfer, you have not your best night. I didn't have a very good night tonight, and I hate it for our kids because they fought their tail off. And so, yeah, I would love to get back there quickly. But look, the reason football is the best game in the world, and anyone else can argue, and that's fine, everybody gets their own opinion, is because it teaches you life. And sometimes you give everything you got and you lose. Sometimes it's because you could have done something better. Sometimes it's because BYU played a great game too, and it was a grinder. It was there back and forth, and give them a lot of credit. But yeah, I'd love to play again, but I don't get to for 14, 15 days, and so we got a lot to work on.